Minnesota, cold like Minnesota. Need to stay up out the streets if you can't take the heat.
Welcome to 10 Minutes. I'm Tony Scott. How you doing today, Peter?
I'm great. Just got back from Punch Pizza. So I have the power of a margarita extra inside me. And yes, I ate the crust. I dipped it in the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar. Oh, yeah.
That's good.
There's some red pepper flakes on there. So my stomach.
Red pepper. We're going to be talking about that later today.
There are fireworks going on in my stomach right now. The red pepper's not playing very well with the dark roast that I drank on my way here.
Okay.
So let's roll through this.
Let's go through it. Our Peewee preview.
If you hear it rumble, that's what it is.
All right, let's give a quick update as to where the Peewee State tournaments are going to be played. Peewee AA will be in Cottage Grove.
Nice.
And what rink does the Cottage Grove rink look like to you when you walk in there?
It looks like
almost identical to another rink in the Twin Cities.
Whenever I walk into the Cottage Grove Arena, I feel like Jonah after he's been swallowed by the whale. If the whale's ribs were made of old wood, that's how I would feel.
Yes.
But it reminds me of Blake.
Yeah. Blake?
And a little bit of Brooklyn Park.
Ooh, Brooklyn Park.
I love Brooklyn Park.
Close. New Hope.
Brooklyn Park is the coziest.
Yeah,
the coziest ring. It's got like soft lighting.
Yeah,
New Hope. Reminds you of New Hope?
Yeah, well, they are the exact architectural model. New Hope and Cottage Grove.
Oh, is it?
Are identical, yes.
Oh.
Like that.
Why don't they play the Elite League at Cottage Grove?
I don't know. Peewee A will be in Woodbury, and that rink is like almost all the rinks I see every day.
I hate that rink.
Okay.
I hate
Peewee B is in Blaine Fogarty, which I think is nice. I bet they'll be in the Spring Lake Park rink, and the Bantams will be in the Blaine rink. That's just a guess. All right, let's talk some games. First round games.
Yes.
All right, Peewee AA, first round game, Moorhead and White Bear Lake.
The battle of the black and orange. I'm going to take Moorhead in this one, although kudos to White Bear Lake for their recent hot streak.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Wyatt Cullen had 9 goals in the regional.
Buoyed by a very large score in game 1.
Yes. He is also a Wiz Wyatt Player of the Year finalist. Congratulations to Wyatt. White Bear Lake, 2 very familiar names, Ryland Rooney and Nash Road, 5 goals apiece for the Bears in their regional.
Ryland Rooney is still a Peewee?
Yes, he was in 09. Yeah.
He's been around forever.
Well, you're maybe confused with brother Easton, who's now probably in high school.
There's a Carter Rooney too, isn't there?
I don't know. They have a younger brother who's might be a squirt or a mite too. So lots of Rooneys here. They played on 12-3, Moorhead won 7-3. I'm guessing that was Spirit of Duluth.
Yeah.
All right, next game, 2 teams we are extremely familiar with, Woodbury and Osseo Maple Grove. Did you see that? I just put Woodbury in because I knew you would pick them. I knew for sure you would pick them.
Well, yeah.
I took Osseo Maple Grove just because I knew you would pick Woodbury, so we would have a difference.
Maple Grove is a tempting pick, but I'm going to go with Woodbury.
Yeah, I know. I knew you would.
I like the depth.
I knew you would. And these next 2 games are just gimme lock games. So I knew I had to pick something different. I don't know if the next
one's a lock.
Beckett Shillings had 4 goals in regionals. Gavin Godbout 4 goals. Riley's up for 6 assists. Usually it's the other way around. Riley's the one that's getting the goals, and Gavin and Beckett are getting the assists. Osseo Maple Grove, shout out to Matthew Johnson. He had the game winner in that quadruple overtime thriller in Stillwater to win that one. Mm-hmm. So many, and also a shout out. We'll have another member of the Osseo Maple Grove team making a bid for the Wiz Wyatt Award as well, but we can't say it because his name has not appeared yet on our website. Okay.
Oh, good.
All right. So Peewee AA, I said locks. These last 2 are pretty easy.
No.
Edina and Matamidi.
That's not easy.
There'll be another Wiz Wyatt finalist coming out of this game. No clues given. Bodie McConnell had 4 goals, a hat trick in the in the regional final where they just trounced Osseo Maple Grove like 7-1. They're 6th in the rankings. Matamidi number 9 in the now rankings. Landon Saint-Pierre. Wow, he might be the best first year out there forward, I think, Landon Saint-Pierre.
Can you imagine what their squirt team would look like if they had
Is this right? Him? He had 11 goals and 4 assists? Holy smokes. That's like 4 or 5 games. That's pretty good. And Brooks DeMars, as they like to say him, he had 10 assists.
What'd you call him?
Pretty good. Brooks DeMars.
You call him Brooks?
I like that.
There goes boom.
And they played in the regular season, and they tied 4-4. Edina won 7-2, and Edina won 6-1 on over New Year's. So
I got an eyeful of both of these teams out
Yes,
at
you
the
did.
St. Croix Valley. Matamidi scares me because you can hand it off to 5 different players and they can all score. They can all go 200 feet. But Edina is playing really good team hockey right now, and the Hornets are peaking at the right time.
I just think they have way too much depth for Matamidi.
I think they do
here.
too.
So
They're fun to watch. Amir Shabaklo could have had 6 goals in a game. He got stuffed on 3 straight breakaways, and he already had a hat. No, he had like 5 goals in a game, then got stopped on 3 breakaways.
Wow. Okay, so we agree on Edina. Last one, Minnetonka and Hermantown. Hermantown sneaks in the back door, beats Bemidji in their regional in Grand Rapids, and they get the prized possession. They get Minnetonka, who's been the hottest team in Peewee AA. Number 1 now ranked 32-6-3. Dean Stevens and Gabe Lindholm had 3 goals apiece in the regionals down in Burnsville, and Liam Schultz had 4 assists for Hermantown. This kid, Cole Lenzik, had a great regional, 8 assists. And then McLean Martellock as well had a great regional with 6 assists for the Hawks.
That Martellock kid is good.
Hermantown started the season 2-7-1 and have now come back to almost a 500 mark. So good season for the Hawks. Lot to grow on. I think they'll have a great little Peewee AA team next year.
Let's see if they can follow in the footsteps of the high school team.
I think so. Minnetonka won their only meeting. This is at Spirit of Duluth 5-2. That'll do it for Peewee AA's.
Yep, so we got
I'm looking forward to that. If the semis line up the way it is, Moorhead, Woodbury, OMG winner, Edina, Minnetonka on Saturday afternoon. Whoo, whoo, whoo. Those are some great Peewee AA games. And I think the champion, I think that'll be great, but I think the championship here in PWA might be the best game of the day of the Peewees.
Provided that the
two teams we think
are going to make it.
No upsets. Hibbing and East Grand should be a war. And we'll get to that in just a second. All right, in Woodbury, Hibbing Chisholm, the defending state champions, will take on Warroad.
I've got
Thank
Hibbing.
you very much. A nice 2 seed, right?
Yeah. Give me Hibbing.
You're going to take Hibbing? You tempted by Warroad at all?
A little bit, just because it's Warroad, but I've seen Hibbing play. I know what they can do. I know they got game breakers at defense and at forward. Their goaltender's not bad either. I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle between the Whitaker Rewerts and the Jackson Strukel. Their goaltender is also very, very good.
Okay.
And he's huge.
So Hibbing's leading scorers in regions, Joey Gabardi had 6 and 6. Whit Rewerts had 6 and 10. Is that right? He had 10 assists?
Joey Gabardi, shout out to
unbelievable.
the 08 Junior Islanders.
Yes, another one.
Again.
All right. And then the Warriors, Roderick Jackson's had 6 assists. He's a first year. He may look like a second year, but he's a first year.
He plays just
Gavin
like
Anderson, a kid I met actually in East Grand Forks at the section final between Warroad and Thief River Falls. He had 7 goals in regionals. They played this season. Hibbing Chisholm won 5-3.
Sick.
And you think Hibbing's going to win? You saw these guys play against Roseville.
I did. It's a well-oiled machine.
I think so too. That's going to be great. Now we have this is the Tony Scott Bowl. Jefferson, where my children went to school, and Minneapolis, where I went to school, and I have allegiances to both. I love both.
Who do you
these
like
teams.
more, yourself or your kids?
I think I put Jefferson as winning this one. It's going to be close. It's funny. I've seen Jefferson. I've seen Minneapolis. I've seen Warroad. You've seen Hibbing. I've seen Roseville. I've seen Edina. I haven't seen Cloquet or East Grand Forks. I'll see East Grand Forks this weekend for sure.
I've got Minneapolis in that Minneapolis-Jefferson game.
Okay. Teddy Lechner from the blue line led Jefferson to the region title, 4 goals and 4 assists. Not bad for a D. And then Ian Jane, Jaehn, had 3 goals for Minneapolis. Who are you taking, Minneapolis or are you taking Jefferson?
I just said Minneapolis.
All right. Game 3, Roseville. I don't know this name. Brecken Zabrock?
Zabrock.
Thank you. And
Z-A-B-R-O-K.
Grant Jakuboski each had 3 goals for the Raiders. They took the number 1 seed out of East. Edina snuck in the back door. Gabe Geyer and Patrick Minotti, who you really liked.
Gage Geyer.
Gage? Oh, I got Gabe on here. Sorry. Could be wrong here. I'm just reading off the sheet here. Patrick Minotti, both kids played
Minotti.
in the they were in the semifinals or quarterfinals
Quarterfinals of the
Founders Cup. We like that team.
Yep.
They did not play this season. Who do you got?
Roseville.
I like Roseville, too. Love the Edina team, but this Roseville team's special. They're going to give East Grand Forks a run on that Saturday. Speaking of which, the number one team in the state, number one team out of West, number one in everything. Ryan Clausen, a move in from Crookston. Jace Panzer. Ryan had 5 goals. Jace Panzer had 7 goals, and he had 3 assists in the chip. Special player, younger brother of North Dakota commit, Jackson Panzer. They're going to face Cloquet. They are number 12 in the now rankings, 28-9-0. Jacob Parks had 6 goals for the Lumberjack. Bo Harriman had 5 assists. They did not play during the regular season. The Lumberjacks have got their work cut out for them taking on East Grand Forks. This is a special team.
The East Grand Forks team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take East Grand Forks.
I'm going to take East Grand Forks as well. I think I'm going to take them to win it all, too. Wow. Tune into our article where Peter, Todd, Tony, and Now Rankings will choose a state champion. And Now Rankings usually wins the battle every year between the 4 of us. All right, on to Peewee B's.
My favorite level.
All righty. We get to start off with my favorite team in the tournament, Red Lake Falls and Cloquet. I got to see Cloquet play in Moose Lake at regionals a couple weeks ago. Nice little team, great skaters. They move the puck really well. They just destroyed Grand Rapids when I was there. But here's Red Lake Falls. I'm going to pick them. I don't know who's better, actually, to be honest with you. But just because of their record, it's amazing.
Defeat.
The 4 seed out of District 16, the Red Lake Falls Eagles. They lose their first game in districts as the 4-5. They lose the 4-5 game. They go backdoor and win their way into districts. It's only 2 teams come out of District 16. They win their way into districts that way. Then they go to regions. They win their first game, lose their second game, and then they win 3 straight 1-goal games. They were in 9 1-goal games in the playoffs, and they went 7-2. They were in 7 eliminations games, like going home, cry when the season's over games. They had 7 of those and went 7-0, and they went 2-1 in overtime. Congratulations, Red Lake Falls. You made it to state. You earned it by a mile. And I think you're going to win your first elimination game with a W over Cloquet.
I'll also take Red Lake Falls, and a note to the Red Lake Falls players. If you love your parents and you don't want to see them suffer with high blood pressure or ulcers or premature hair
win
loss
by 2 goals.
Or gray hair, score. I don't
They
know
score
how much
plenty
more,
of goals.
I don't know
that's
how
for
much
sure.
more your parents can take it. I don't know how much.
Shout out to Cloquet's Hunter Johnson. He had 4 goals, as did Daxton Collins, had 3 for the Lumberjacks. So moving on, game 2, Edina Green, the winners of the South region. They come in now rankings ranked number 3, 45-10-2.
These kids play so many games.
The runner-ups to Edina White in our Gobbler way back in November. Ryan Judge had 5 goals for the Green Hornets, and they will play Osseo Maple Grove. This is a really hard game. Osseo Maple Grove Black, number 2 out of the East, number 1 in now rankings, by the way. So we have the number 1 and number 3 teams in now rankings playing in the first round.
Nice.
39-5-2. Aiden Carruthers, you recognize that name?
Yes, I do. Younger brother of Luke Carruthers.
That's it. He had 3 goals for the Black Leaf Birds. The season this year, Edina won 2-1 on December 12th. Osseo Maple Grove won 1-0, and Edina won 5-4 in a shootout on 11/27. That strikes me as that was must have been in the Gobblers, either pool play or semifinals.
Yep.
So, all right, next.
I've got
this
Edina
is a game
Green.
I like.
You got to make your selection, though.
I said Osseo Maple Grove.
Okay.
You got Edina Green. I think it's a really good pick. This is going to be a great game up in Blaine. All right, next game. Woodbury, another team that played in the Gobbler. They were in the game of the glass breaking. Remember the glass breaking game? That was one of those 2 parents. They broke the glass in the Gobbler.
Please don't break.
And this is a team coached by Danny Ehrman, former Gopher Danny Ehrman.
Yeah, I still hold a grudge against Danny Ehrman.
Yeah, because he left Fargo, right?
Yep.
All right, and didn't play for the Sioux. 14th now ranked is Woodbury. Nikolai Rogina had 3 goals. That's right, Rogina. Had 3 goals for the Predators. Edina White, the number 2 seed. Here's Jason Sahlberg. He had 8 goals, and Mason Lemaitre 7 assists for the Hornets in regionals.
I like that Sahlberg
They
kid.
did not. No, they did meet they met on 11/26. Guess where that was?
In the Gobbler.
At the Gobbler, 4-2. They met on 12/19. Edina White won that one 4-3 in a shootout. So very close games. I'm taking Woodbury. I'm going Danny Ehrman.
All right, I'm going Edina White.
All right, I like that. Good pick. That'll be one of the better games. These 2 middle games are fantastic.
Take that, Danny Ehrman.
The Metros are playing each other now. The outstates are kind of on the games 1 and 4. So we have Halleck, the Bearcats, number 1 in the West, number 5 now rated, 28-7. Jackson Hemis, 5 goals in the regional final. Congratulations, Jackson. I'm looking forward to seeing your team play. Bryn Hennon, 7 assists. Not bad. Blaine, this is a sleeper. They had a 36-10-2 record. Carson Thole had 3 goals, but listen to this. Jackson Julin had 2 shutouts on Sunday to take the Bengals to state. So congratulations, Jackson, on a great regional. Who do you got in this one?
I'm going to go with the birthplace of hockey in Minnesota. I'm going to
Yes!
take the Halleck
I'm taking Halleck, too.
Battling Bears.
The first ever rink in Minnesota was planted in Halleck, Minnesota. All right, now we're traveling. What do you think the biggest upset this weekend would be?
You know, I relied on a northern team during our Bantam show, and I'm going to do so again. Cloquet, if they can pull off the win
That
over
would be
East
the
Grand
biggest
Forks,
upset.
I would consider that a massive upset.
I think that's the biggest upset, too. I'll go with this one, too. White Bear Lake, if they can beat Moorhead in the first round, that would be the biggest upset of the day.
That could happen.
It could happen.
That
Absolutely.
could happen.
People chuckle, but that could happen. They're playing some really good hockey right now. Look at their scores. They're playing well. And Moorhead, the second half of the season, hasn't exactly lit the world on fire, so they could catch them. They
Hearing
could definitely
from
catch
sources
them.
close to the White Bear program, everybody's bought in right now. Everybody has embraced their role on the team. They're changing lines quickly. They're staying fresh.
Yeah. Could happen.
Maybe they can show the high school team how to win in the first round.
I think so. All right. Best restaurant in East Grand Forks. Want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with this place. It's called Casa Mexico. I ate there last week or 2 weeks ago when the section final between Thief River Falls and Worrell was being played, and had an hour. Got there an hour early. And there's a restaurant right basically across the parking lot called Casa Mexico. Everything's authentic there. Authentic Mexican restaurant. Great chips, great salsa, great everything. I highly recommend it. It gets 3.5 of 5 on Yelp, with 82 reviews.
If you want authentic, let's go with my place, the Red Pepper, which my father has another name for when he spent half a semester going to the University of North Dakota. I'm going to go with the Red Peppers. Nothing better than being really hungry and just shoveling something into your face.
Why are we talking about East Grand Forks? None of these teams are going.
Why are we doing that? I was given this answer. My favorite restaurant in East Grand Forks is probably like Green Mill or something.
Well, the reason was we had the Badette restaurant, so I'm like, well, we'll just do the whatever restaurant. There are really no restaurants in Cottage Grove, Woodbury, or Blaine that are really
sure
all
there
that
are. There's a
unique.
TGI Fridays.
Yeah, you see, it's lame. So at least we gave you. At least the people from East Grand Forks will get a kick out of this.
Side note, I believe it's pronounced Baudette.
It's Badette. Thank you. All right. Longest drive. Well, we did this session for the Bantams as well. I thought I had it. I thought I had it figured out.
Turns out you
Halleck
were wrong.
had a 4 3/4 drive to Sartell for regions and a 5.5 hour drive to Blaine for state. That's 10 plus hours. The longest drive goes to Warroad, who had a 5.5 hour drive to regions and a 6.25 hour drive to state. So hats off to our friends in Warroad for logging the most miles to the state tournament.
Fire up the iPad and get some earplugs.
They'll be fine.
It's a
They will be fine.
long drive.
It's going to be an awesome weekend. We're going to see all of these teams, you and I, this weekend. I'm excited to see it. What is the jersey that you're most excited to see out of these, what would it be, 24 teams? I think the 2 northern jerseys is the one I want to see.
Halleck.
Yeah, Halleck.
I've never
you say
seen
Halleck.
Halleck
I'm going with
before.
my boys from Red Lake Falls. I want to see those 2 jerseys. We will have pictures of all these 24 teams on our website. Check us out this weekend. Should be a blast. For Peter Rodney, I'm Tony Scott. See you at the rink.
Call like Minnesota.